Hey, what's up, guys? It's Pixelated Apollo. Thanks for stopping by, and welcome back to another online battle of Medieval 2 Total War. This is part of the Crusader expansion. This one's gonna be awesome because, one, it's in the Crusader expansion. Two, it looks like we're having a battle in a dust storm, or maybe it's foggy, but I'm gonna go with the dust storm. It looks like there's particles going all over the place. Number three, the Aztecs. That's right, the Aztecs are helping the French and the Spanish defend this siege battle, or this siege settlement, this castle. So it's like France and Spain, they went to the New World and they're like, hey, Aztecs, you know, we won't slaughter you if you help us defend this random castle in the Middle East. Will you come join us? And they're like, sure, what the hell, why not? So yeah, they're helping Spain and France defend a castle that's, I assume, located near the Middle East because this is a Crusader expansion. But anyways, well, actually, you know what? Let's come up with a scenario. Okay, so here's the scenario. I already explained what the defenders are doing, but the Byzantine Empire, they want to take back the settlement because they once owned this settlement. The Turks took it from them, and then Spain took it back, and now the Byzantine Empire wants it back. They called their allies the boys in blue. You see how similar they are? We've got the boys in purple, and then we got the boys in blue. So they got their allies from Scotland. They're like, hey, Scotland, I know you're busy with England and whatnot, but will you come to the Middle East and help us take a settlement? And they're like, you know what? Sure, that sounds grand. And Venice, well, Venice just hates everything and will fight for money. No, I don't know. That's my scenario. But let's get started with the army comps and the players. We'll start with the attackers. We got Venice over here attacking the very important wall. Remember, guys, I mentioned this like 1,000 times already, but I'll do it one more time. This wall right here is king. You take this wall when you're attacking, you will win the battle. I promise you that. So focus this wall. I'm really glad that Venice is focusing his firepower on this wall. But let's check out Venice, his army comp. It's commanded by Shadow, and he's got a nice army, a very, very nice army. He's got a lot of feudal knights, a lot of Venetian heavy infantry, a couple units of cav, just in case. And of course, he's got some Pavi's crossbow militia, which will be very deadly if he can get them up on the walls. So I like his army, and plus he has 2 mortars. Wow. Wait, how many? Wow, he's got 3 pieces of artillery. I did not notice that. 2 mortars and 1 culverin. Wow, that's some firepower. All right, so let's check out the boys in purple. My favorite, the Byzantine Empire, attacking the main gate here. He's got 2 units of bombard. Very nice. That's going to be very useful, especially in a castle battle where there's not a lot of walls to bring down. There's only 1 layer of wall, so having 2 artillery is really going to help you out. Alright, so he's got the Almanariai. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but for whatever reason, when I look at the name, I think of the Alamo. Anyways, he's got a couple of 2-handed units, Varangian Guard, very deadly in the Kingdom expansions. 2-handed units are a lot better in the expansions. He's got some dismounted Latin Con, classic army here, some Byzantine Guard archers, and mounted Latin Con. So pretty simple army here, pretty awesome army. No flamethrowers or fire throwers, so that's unfortunate, but I understand why he didn't bring them, because they're kind of hard to use, and I don't know, I think you're better off with just getting infantry. But by the way, this army is commanded by Lost in Nepal. And then over here, the final attacking force, we have, of course, Scotland. And he's got a lot of heavy infantry. He's just got a nice army. I think he's lacking some archers. No, actually, no. He's got a couple archers. But I think he needs a little bit more archers. Personally, I think about having 4 archers in your army when you're attacking a siege is very, very important. And archers can be a huge role. They have a huge role in siege battles. So that's the Scottish army. And now let's check out the defenders right after this cutscene. Here we go. All right, the French, commanded by Eagles a Warb. Anyways, he's got a nice army. Everyone here really has a nice army. A good amount of heavy infantry, a good amount of archers. He's bringing some Aventurier, which I think can be deadly when defending. But if you keep them in the back like this, they're not going to be deadly. You want to have them up on the walls or somewhere where they've got, you know, a perfect point of view to fire bolts into the enemy. So we'll see what he does with the Aventurier. But overall, I like his army. Looking at his ally, we have Spain commanded by Hindley. He's playing as Spain, and I say this like every time. You cannot go wrong with Spain. By the way, he's losing some soldiers to artillery firing. You hear that chanting? Yes, that's the Aztecs, Coyote Priest. But yeah, good Spanish army. I like it a lot. And then of course we have the Aztecs, which I don't really know what a good defending Aztec army is like because I don't use them that much. But he's bringing a good amount of Jaguar warriors, Eagle warriors, which is really the best infantry for the Aztecs. And you might think that the Aztecs are crap at defending a siege, but really they're not. They're actually really good because their infantry, well, they're pretty amazing. Plus, if you add the Coyote Priests, which destroy morale, they are very good at holding choke points and keeping the enemy back. So those are all the armies. It looks like we're gonna have some early action here. Early conflicts. Wait, did I say who's command? Oh yes, the Aztecs, they're commanded by Vermin. I'm forgetting the player names. I'm so sorry. And by the way, Scotland is commanded by yeah, so that's his name. That's probably why I forgot it. But yeah, there's a little cav action. See, this is why it's really important to have some defending cav in case the okay, I'm sorry, I had a brain fart there. That's why it's really important when you're attacking to have some defending cav, because the defenders will get aggressive sometimes and try to go after objectives like your artillery, which is completely vital. It is so important that you have artillery in a siege battle. If you get it destroyed, you're gonna have one tough time. So I assume that the bombardment phase is going to continue on. There goes more walls. They are just shredding this wall into pieces just because they have so many artillery pieces. We are just gonna fast forward and I'm gonna start it back up once the action goes. Here we go. Welcome back, guys. So we got the Venetians charging up forward here. He's doing a really good strategy. I love this, guys. If you have defenders holding the choke point, push forward your archers and just shoot them point blank with your crossbows. Really good strategy. I call this strategy pepper spray because it's supposed to irritate your opponent. It's supposed to make them upset and make them uncomfortable. So that's why I named it that. I thought that was a pretty clever name, but anyways, yeah, he's getting a good volley onto these crossbows. Look at this. Good volley onto the pikemen. They are getting shreked right now. We've got some pikemen over here as well. So the bombardment phase was pretty long. Look at the walls here, just absolutely destroyed. Almost every section destroyed. We've got buildings on fire, towers evaporated. It is a gruesome bombardment, but the defenders are holding strong. If you look here, there's a couple of dead Spanish troops. That's from the mortars laying down fire onto the defenders. The mortars are really making it difficult for the defenders. And Spain really making a big mistake here. If you see the enemy pushing forward crossbows, do not hold the choke point like this. You need to do what the Aztecs are doing right now, keeping them behind the walls, because even if the archers fire at your troops, they're not going to be very accurate because they have to fire over a wall. But now we have the siege towers getting into position. Really happy to see that Venice is attacking this wall. This wall is so important. We've got the Byzantine Empire charging forward. And of course, we've got Scotland charging forward. So really nice timing by the attackers. Look at this glorious march from the Byzantine Empire. So glorious. They're gonna go in. They're gonna go in hard. And I think they're just waiting for the perfect time to strike. And look at this. Byzantine Empire doing the same strategy as the Venetians, getting their Byzantine guard archers right in front of the enemy, and he's just gonna sit there and take it. Look at that. Straightforward, just making troops fall to their, or killing troops and making them fall to their knees. Just those arrows are so gruesome. But is he going to do it here too? He is. He is marching forward some Byzantine guard archers. Now this time the Aztecs are actually trying to fight back. and send forward some arrow warriors. So that's pretty nice. It's nice to see the defenders are trying to fight back against that strategy. But now we have Venice charging. He is going to commit some broken lances. Of course, we've got the standard here. Really love the fact that Venice brought the standard. Oh, wow. Venetian heavy infantry breaking. Holy crap. His troops are breaking so fast. Maybe it's a Crusader expansion thing, or the expansions, the morale is just not as good. But damn, that is very unfortunate for Venice. Then over here, Byzantine Empire taking their time, still using that archer strategy, the pepper spray. And Scotland still waiting a little bit to go charging in. I think Scotland should really get aggressive here. Look at, they're not really ready to defend. Now they're starting to become ready because they're moving forward some Chivalric Knights. But I guess Scotland, he wants to use up his archers to try to weaken their defenses. So I'm trying not to move the camera around too much. But here we go. Venice is making some progress. It's nice to see that because, you know, he took the time to use his crossbows to weaken their defenses. And up here, he needs to take the walls. Why is he not taking the walls? Oh, man. Well, eventually he will take them, but the Spanish crossbows up on these walls, that's a deadly combo. That's a deadly position. So he needs to be careful of that. So good move by Spain there. And look at that. Archers. Look at Aztec archers using fire ammo, putting pressure. And then we've got the Byzantine Empire finally committing in their forces. Let's see. Is he charging over here? No, not yet. He's still using his archers to weaken their defense. It's a battle of skirmishers. Arrow warriors versus Byzantine guard archers. Look at that. Throw in their darts. Oh, more breaking. Wow. The breaking is so high in this. I mean, the attacks seem very sound, you know? The attacks are very smartly, you know, executed. And they're breaking. It's a shame to see that. But Venice is finally making a lot of progress. He's breaking into the castle and weakening the Spanish defenses. But I appreciate the fact that the defenders are trying to defend the outer walls. Look at that glorious shot from the archers. Oh my god, that is beautiful. Good positioning there by the Aztec archers. Aztec archers, not that great of an archer unit, but right here, they're very effective. Because it's close range. They have terrible range. They're kind of like the Polish archers, just very terrible. But hey, they're getting the job done. They're breaking some Byzantine guard archers. They're like, Venice, Scotland, save us, protect us. And then over here, we've got a little wall battle, wall fight. We've got the heavy infantry versus the, oh man, I don't even know how to pronounce that name. I'm just gonna ignore. It's an Aztec, heavy infantry Aztec unit. Oh my god, the mortar is going off. This is a gruesome grind over here. Venice versus Spain. Two very powerful factions duking it out. And I think Venice is having a lot of luck right here. Those Venetian heavies just penetrating the armor. Oh! Some mortar fires going off really close to their friendlies, but I think they killed mostly Spanish there, but we'll get back to that fight. Over here, we've got Byzantine Empire trying to break through, and they're making some great progress. Scotland really has no one to fight except for the French, and the French defenses are very limited here. So this is a glorious siege battle so far, guys. Yeah, I think Scotland and the Byzantine Empire, they're going to have no trouble breaking through these defenses. Absolutely no trouble. But they really need to get some troops up on the wall, and they need to take out these archers that are really a thorn in the side for the attackers. They're racking up a bunch of kills. Here comes some reinforcements from the Aztecs. Vermin sending in his troops. And look at, so this is what I'm talking about. Really smart positioning here. Look at that. That's almost, I mean, imagine being an archer. Your job would be easy. It's like point down, release bow, dead. Man, that is gruesome. Oh, there goes the Scottish general. So Scotland getting a little aggressive with his general. I think that's the Scottish general. It could be the French general, but I assume it's the Scottish. But this fight is still going on. It's a beautiful fight, a gruesome fight, a glorious fight. Oh my god. Is he going to continue to fire that mortar? I hope so. I want to see more flying Spanish and Venetians. But Scotland's supporting the Venetians with his feudal knights. Not really going to do much, but... Ooh, and some breaking there by the Venetians. So this is going to be pretty close. I mean, all the attackers have to do is break through the first lines here, and they're good to go. Because it seems like most of the defenders... Yeah, look at what they've got in reserve. They've got nothing. Really, they have nothing. Oh, and the catapults, they must have been destroyed by the mortars here. That's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. Then we got the coyote priests in the back here chanting. There they go. They're chanting at the walls. But Venice is chain route right here. Unbelievable. That is a huge amount of troops just breaking from the fight. That's like 90% of his army, but it's still going in favor of the attackers, I believe, because Scotland is making a lot of progress here. Ooh, there goes the Aztec general. That's going to be huge. The morale of the Aztecs is really going to suffer from that. Oh man, those Aztec archers, they are wrecking right now. And I was just about to say, like, those archers suck really bad, but they're saving the day. And we've got a big rout from the Byzantine Empire. Of course, the Byzantine Empire, they've got a lot of reserves, so it's not as big of a deal compared to the Venetians breaking, because Venice is like down to nothing, and they had their standard right behind them. That is so unfortunate. I think it was a mix of just weak morale in the mortar. Even though the mortar was killing some enemies, it also hurt the morale of his own troops. And yeah, a victorious Spain over here. And also, of course, the coyote priests hurting the morale of the Venetians. But the troops are returning, so that's a good sign right there. Of course, they're not going to be as effective, but they are returning to fight. And the Byzantine Empire, they're going to commit their Varangian Guard over to the mix. We got some Latin Con joining the party. So they're going to do some revenge for the Venetians. We've got the standard fighting to the death. Of course, the standard always fights to the death. Here comes the Latin Con. And there's the Spanish general. He's going to get out of there, though. He's like, oh, I'm getting the hell out of here. See you later. Venetians are gone. Byzantine Empire is here. Oh, gotta kill those archers. That is so frustrating. As a attacker, you gotta be so frustrated seeing that the archers are pretty much completely defended and they're just wrecking your troops. And more, oh man, the Latin Con breaking coyote. See, this is what I'm talking about. Aztecs are not bad. When I first started playing the game, I'd be like, Aztecs, I'm not gonna play the Aztecs. But they're actually really fantastic in defending siege battles because how they can destroy the morale of attacking forces. But where's Scotland? Where is Scotland? Seriously, where the hell is Scotland? Did he break? Did his troops break? Or is he... I guess so. Or he did a tactical retreat or something like that. But the Venetians are regrouping right here. Here they are. Venice. Go Venetians. They can actually get a flanking charge on the Spanish right here. And of course, they didn't focus the wall down, which I thought they were when they pushed forward the siege towers. You gotta take this wall. If you take this wall, you win. It's that simple. And the Venetians, instead, they focused on the choke points. So that's unfortunate, but we might have a revenge charge by the Venetians. Oh my god, more breaking for the boys in purple. So that was actually a smart decision by Spain. Did you see that? How they retreated their forces back. They fell back, a tactical retreat, so their flank wasn't exposed anymore. So now Venice has to fight them head on. And the Coyote Priest still causing fear in all the enemies' lives. Scotland trying to break through a handful of French troops that are holding the line. And then we've got some Highland nobles trying to kill these Eagle warriors. So this was just a gruesome siege all over the place. Scottish pikemen, noble Scottish pikemen breaking, a unit of 43 breaking. That is unbelievable. That's what you get from Coyote Priest. I mean, I'd be terrified, especially from Europe, and you've never seen, you know, an Aztec culture, you know, a native culture like that. So it'd be kind of terrifying. Like, what is this and what's going on? I'm out of here. Witchcraft or something like that. I don't know. You know how the Europeans do, burning witches, superstitious. All right, more breaking here. More breaking. Spain holding their ground. Conquistadors, they're such a tough unit to crack. They really are. Such a workhorse of a unit. Just can do a lot of things. And now the Ranging Guard going in for a glorious charge. Oh my god, the damn wall keeps getting in the way. There we go. Oh my god. That was a good charge, but it's not going to be enough. And they break just like that. Oh, this replay is a little jumpy, but and you know, that's what you get with for whatever reason. Sometimes when you send in replays, they get a little jumpy, a little laggy. All right, so the Byzantine Empire finally sending in some units to fight the Aztec archers. Now he's sending forward some Byzantine Guard archers, which are okay at melee, but they're about to be surrounded by some Eagle warriors. Oh man, it's not going to be pretty. Oh, here comes the Cav. That's actually a pretty good decision here by the Byzantine Empire. Gonna try to get a charge off. Or they're going down the center. They are going down the center. I think he's trying to make a desperate push for the town center. Where this man, Scotland. I guess they keep breaking. They just cannot break through the defenses right here. So they keep breaking and coming back. Same story for the Venetians. Same story. Oh, there they go. There we go. We got some revenge on the Coyote Priest. My god. That was a beautiful charge. So that's really gonna help their army there. Latincon doing justice. The general is in this unit. Very cool. They're getting hit hard by archers though. We've got some Scots Guard betraying their own people, betraying the Scots. And this vicious fight on the walls continues to go on. Look at the weapons on these Aztec warriors. It's like a little wooden ball at the end or something. It probably would have been stone. Very cool. Of course, the Aztecs, they didn't have metal, so they had to use stone and dragon stone or whatever they call it in the Game of Thrones. Now I just forgot the real name of it. Anyways, yeah, they would use a lot of stone for their weapons. And the Coyote Priests, you hear them? Where are they? Here they are. Chant them, chant. Get them off of those walls.
Attack!
Attack! I think I just heard for Scotland's king attack. That's strange. But yeah, this Latincon unit, they want to kill these Coyote Priests like completely. That's their mission in life. Kill the Coyote Priest. Now we got the Ranging Guard. There we go. Oh man, there we go. Finally, the Coyote Priests are dead, and that's pretty good by the Aztecs. They did a great job on keeping those really important units alive. But look at this. Venice is making a turnaround right here. The Venetian soldiers are returning to the fight. They regrouped. They calmed themselves down. And now they're going for a glorious charge to the town center. There is still hope. There is still hope for the attackers. Here they go. Come on, you gotta try to kill them before they return to the fight. Oh my god. Are the Venetians gonna be able to turn this siege battle around? Oh, there goes the... Oh, that's kind of big. You know, it's good to kill a general. But of course they have infinite morale in the town center. Oh, the braking on this battle. There's just massive braking. Get those crossbows up on the walls, Venice. Please get them up on the walls. More braking from Venice. That was a fluke. France, they've got a lot of troops left to hold this position. There's still a small pocket of fighting out in the streets. Byzantine guard archers getting their swords wet. And here's Scotland, the Culverine. Oh, they're victorious. They finally defeated those archers up on the walls. It only took them like 20 minutes. And here comes another vicious charge from the Latin con. So the attackers at this point are really trying to use their resources the best to their ability by, you know, sending around the cav, getting some good charges off, using their archers, using their small depleted units of like Varangian guard. But of course they're gonna break. And now it's really, the only thing that's really left is this Latin con unit for the attackers. Of course, you've got the Pavi's crossbows. Got a couple of feudal knights, but they're not going to be enough. They're just not going to be enough to win this battle. Now, there's a lot of Byzantine guard archers, but again, look how healthy the French are. The French, they've got a ton of forces left. We've got the Aventurier back here. We've got a untouched unit of feudal knights with the French general in it. So yeah, it's not going to be too pretty for the attackers. But we'll watch and we'll see the glorious invasion and watch them try to redeem their dignity, I suppose, and try to kill as many forces as they can. They got a good charge off on the Scots Guard. Actually, never mind. I don't even think they killed a single Scots Guard. That's unfortunate. Scots Guard, so brutal. There's a charge into the feudal knights. I mean, the defenders could easily just win this, but, you know, I don't know what the French are doing. Like, why don't they just charge out their units and just end this? Just end it, lads. Byzantine guard archers going for the glorious charge to the town center. And now we have the bombard. This is what I'm talking about. The attackers using every resource they have, every trick up their sleeve they're going to use just to win this battle. And I don't blame them. I love the fight. I love when people don't give up and they fight to the bitter end. And even when the battle is lost. Now, there's different situations where the battle is, like, really obviously lost. Like, if you have one unit and you don't surrender, that can be a bit tedious. Tedious. Oh my god. But in this situation, the attackers, they still have a solid force. So I respect the fact that they're not admitting defeat, and they're gonna try to do one more glorious volley. Finally, it looks like the Venetians are putting their crossbows up on the walls here, getting a good angle to the Aventurier. And the Latin con trying to kill the Pavi's crossbows. But there goes the general. He breaks. Wow, he's not going to die in battle. Very unfortunate. Oh, there we go. Okay. That will make him look a little bit better dying in the battle. You know, when people write about him, they could say he was brave, and even though he broke, I mean, he was pretty brave. I mean, he ran around and killed the Coyote Priest. Oh, let's watch this. Oh, he's using like the grape shot. You hear that? Oh, he just killed a bunch of Spanish troops. Oh my god, look at that. Oh, oh man, that's awesome. Come on, get another volley. I am gonna enjoy watching this. It's almost like the French had to leave or something. But this is really close. Like, Byzantine Empire, my hat's off to you for keeping up the fight. And there's hope. There is still hope in this siege battle. Oh man, those grape shots though. Oh, did you see that? Oh, they killed the general. They killed the French general. Oh man, this is, sometimes you have to be aggressive when you're defending, and they're just being a little too defensive here, and they're just letting their troops get shreked by this bombard. And this bombard, it looks very healthy. It looks like they've got a lot of ammo, a lot of troops crewing it. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, look at that. That is awesome. Venice, I think they're letting their troops rest a little bit. They're exhausted. And of course, we've got the Venetian crossbows up here, but they're breaking. Why? Why are they breaking? No one's around them. That's unfortunate. And this is what's left of the Byzantine Empire. Ooh. Man, he's getting a lot of kills with that bombard. That is glorious. And this is so close, guys. Like, all they have to do is kill these troops right in the center, and they're in the game. And Scotland, they've got some troops left too. So this is a complete turnaround. A complete turnaround. If this was like 10 minutes ago, I would have assumed that the attackers are out. Game over for the attackers. But look at the bombard just wrecking lives right now. Oh my god. Every volley at least kills like 5 men. At this point, the defenders are just praying that they run out of ammo soon. The Aztecs are so low on troops. Let's see. It looks like Aztecs are over here activating the towers, which is a smart move. So he's getting some tower kills. This is glorious. This reminds me of that one siege, the Britannia siege, where I did a 3-way commentary with some fellow YouTubers. It was just like it came down to a glorious charge for the town center. So I'll add that video at the end of this video. Know how sometimes I'll link the other videos at the end. I'll be sure to do that so you can check that one out. But this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. So this is why you should never quit, guys. You should always put up the fight and do your best. Even Scotland, they're gonna join here. Now the question is, do they have enough morale? And they need to be careful here. Oh, he might kill his troops. Oh, that's close. Ooh. Oh my god. Alright, so let's fast forward a little bit, guys, because this is pretty exciting, but, you know, not everybody's going to enjoy watching artillery just fire over and over. That's just kind of my thing. I love artillery. Like I've stated 100 times, if I could go back, I would be part of the artillery crew. I love it. That or an archer. Look at all the dead French. My god. This is unbelievable. This is super close. So they're still putting down the hurt on these troops. And I think they're about to charge in here because the timer is almost out of time. Here they go. Here we go. The final charge. Everybody charge. Venice, please. You hear like crickets over here. What are you doing? Please, Venice. They all have to charge at once, and that's a big mistake on their part. Yep. They're already breaking. That's unfortunate. Venice, what are you doing? Oh man, yeah. That's really, really unfortunate. Just the mass break by Scotland. The poorly timed charge by the attackers. And yep, everyone's just breaking. That is a shame. It is a big shame right there. Venice, their troops are still exhausted. They're probably going to break once they get close to the defenders. It's really hard. It's really hard to take this town center. Just because they have a lot of support from the arrow towers up here. But if you look at the balance of power, it's fairly even. Actually, hold on. Look at that. Now it's in favor of the attackers. Look at that. Troops are breaking and returning constantly. It's a mess. This is just a mess. There we go. Now it's in favor of the defenders. 97%. Actually, 89% of the attackers killed and 97% of the defenders killed. So the attackers, they didn't lose as many troops. It's just the problems that they're breaking all the time. And there they go. They break again. They're constantly breaking. Eventually, they're just not going to return. And we'll just go ahead and fast forward, because I think it's safe to assume that this battle is over. It's down to one Byzantine guard archer. But the Byzantines, they put up a hell of a fight. We can all appreciate that. The attackers put up a hell of a fight. It was a very, very, very close battle. Byzantine, by the way, this was sent in by Lost in Nepal, so I respect the fact that you sent in a defeat. Very glorious defeat. Nothing you should be ashamed of, especially, look at the kills here. Almost 1,000 kills, 119 prisoners. And if we look at the defending side, looks like Aztecs. Look at that. Aztecs getting the most kills, almost 600, getting 60 prisoners. Venice close behind by their Byzantine pals. And Scotland, he didn't do so hot, but nonetheless, great effort by everybody. I hope you enjoyed this one, guys, and I'll see you next time.